Now, constraints to capital and talent. These are often cited as key constraints to the growth of SMEs across Africa, most of which either start out as family-owned or family-funded ventures, or in a lot of cases, both. What's rarely spoken about, though, are the governance and management challenges of growing family-owned enterprises into multi-country million-dollar businesses. That is one of the challenges that will be explored at this year's edition of the WCA Executive Summit in October. Earlier today, I spoke to the chairman of the West Africa-focused Genesis energy firm. I asked him what sort of concrete solutions he expects to hear of in a matter of weeks.
Equity is the engine of growth. And so our primary expectation in the WCA Summit is to be able to meet up with very strong family offices, equity providers, and being able to, at the very minimum, walk away with a partnership to further oil, if I may put it that way, the vision of Genesis of lighting up Africa one community at a time.
Right. From your perspective, though, especially as a privately owned entity, what is it that mostly hinders the growth of family-owned enterprises across sub-Saharan Africa? Is it a lack of capital, or is it perhaps that unwillingness to cede control of the enterprise by bringing in external capital partners?
I think it's a combination of what you mentioned, but more as well. There's also the perception issue. In Africa, many businesses prefer ownership. And so the focus, it's reduced on commerce itself, on the objective of the company, which is really to drive revenue, provide service, create value. So the perception of ownership, property ownership, business ownership, reduces the appetite, if I may put it that way, of most private enterprise wanting to cede stock in their business or willing to cede control, majority control of their business by bringing in the required capital. So most of those businesses, in any event, remain survivalist. So I would say that, the combination of perception, the combination of cultural issues, the combination of, wanting to be seen as the owner of the business, it reduces the drive for private enterprise to seek support from equity providers, family offices, and so on.
And that also does open up a Pandora's box, if you will, of governance problems, especially at board level too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And so if you look at it from the point of view of the family office, there is a structure to doing business. Business needs to be transparent, policies need to be clear, there needs to be governance, decision-making process needs to be all-inclusive. And if you look at the smallest family unit in Africa, in most sub-Saharan Africa, you'll find it is very dictatorial. So, and I hope I don't get murdered for this, but most homes have the father as the head of the home and as well as the dictator of the home. And so that culture pervades also how we do business. So when he gets to own a business, he doesn't want to have a dissenting voice. He's very reluctant to have a second opinion. And all of this hinders private equity flowing more freely into Africa.